Welcome to our formal commission meeting of October 10th, 2022. We'll do a call of order by Chief John Smith, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance with Commissioner Knight, invocation given by Commissioner Joe Creek.
All rise. Oh yes, this Honorable Board of County Commission now stands in session pursuant to adjournment. May God save this state and its Honorable Board of County Commissioners.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for your love and your watch care. Thank you for this legislative body and their willing to serve. Just guide and direct us in what we do and what we say. It says in the Bible in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all ways acknowledge him and direct thy paths. Proverbs 3, 5, 6. Lord, you have given us so much. Grant us one more thing, a grateful heart. Amen.
Amen. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
We have 20 present, 1 absent.
We have no presentations for this evening, so we'll go on to our zoning resolutions. CZ 19-2022, application of H&H Sheet Metal Fabrications Incorporated from AG to C5. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, please register your votes. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Commissioner Gannon. Second by Commissioner Leverett. Any discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Would anyone like to change their votes? Madam Clerk, please tally the vote.
8 yeses, 12 noes, 0 abstentions.
Resolution fails. CZ 21-2022, application of Benton Walker from AG to R1. Do I have a motion? Comment? Do I have a motion? Commissioner Gannon, do I have a second? Commissioner Joe Smith, any discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Those in opposition to CZ-21-2022, please stand. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Tangi Smith. Any other discussion? Commissioner Joe Smith.
I just want to remind everybody, this was something that we asked this person to go back last year and survey off the appropriate acreage to come back. And this is a lifelong resident of this road. It's not some big out-of-town developer coming in. I think it's somebody who's going to make a nice addition to this neighborhood and this area. I do realize you've got a lot of people over here standing in opposition, but I remember when I lived just around the corner from that road, actually right in front of it, there were only about 8 to 10 houses on that road. So half of the people who are living there now weren't living there then, and half of those houses were not built. So to go against somebody who's wanting to do something with his farm and a piece of land that his family has invested in over time, I think is a little egregious, especially considering he went back and did what we asked him to do last year. And with a lot of the false information that was given out, he did come back and email us with the appropriate answers with certified letters from directors of departments and certain things. So I would say my opinion would be a yes vote tonight, and I hope that yours would be the same.
Thank you, Commissioner Joe Smith. Commissioner Jason Knight.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to just have everybody be mindful of what's important and who's important within our community, and that's the people. And the people have made their voices heard, and I would think that we would listen to it. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Knight. Commissioner Bill.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to echo what Commissioner Knight just said. In addition, I would like to especially remind the new commissioners or let them know, and I've seen this happen in the past, where we have a developer that says he's going to do one thing, but once we approve a rezoning, he can actually do whatever is allowed under that rezoning. And in this case, with an R1, with septic, 21 lots are allowed. With sewer, which is what he says he's going to do, allows up to 28. So keep that in mind when we approve this if you're concerned about the number of lots. He can say one thing, and I'm not saying that he will do this, but just keep it in mind if you are concerned about even 16 lots, keep that in mind that once we approve this, there's nothing stopping a developer from going back and putting in 28. So just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Bill. Any other discussion? Commissioner Gallant.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to add as well, last week I'd mentioned the capacity of the schools over there. I believe it's Richview Middle is at 96% capacity with a couple of outside school trailers, and Clarksville High School currently at 101% capacity with 3 outside trailers. So considering what we already have going on here in Clarksville, and I understand Mr. Walker's reason for wanting to develop the land, but there's just too many discrepancies that have been coming across my desk and the desk of other commissioners as well. And we've seen and heard from many of the residents of Deerwood Road. It's just not the right time or the right place for something like that right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion? Commissioner Shelton.
As one of the resident new commissioners, I have to say that I'm very, very impressed by the fact that so many of the neighbors have reached out and spoken passionately about their neighborhood. And I have found myself in kind of an interesting position of knowing not only some of the residents, but also the developer himself. So I have had very good business relationships with both of them in the past, and I'm very appreciative of the fact that they have reached out so much. And it certainly made my job a lot more difficult. But I have been leaning on voting no on this, and after reading some of the emails and some of the clarifications from the county department heads and from the East Montgomery Utility District, I'm back to voting yes on this because of the fact that we can always look forward to, we're going to have super full schools. That's a fact of life. It's always been a fact of life. And the more that we can't ignore that, but we would have to stop all growth in order for that to change. And I'm not prepared to do that tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor. I call for a question, call for the vote.
Is there any other discussion? Without objection, we'll call for the vote. Please register your vote.
Mayor, excuse me, are they ceasing discussion or voting on the resolution at this point?
Yeah, we didn't have any objection on ceasing discussion. Would anybody like to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please tally the votes.
3 yeses, 17 noes, 0 abstentions.
Resolution fails. Moving on to the next resolutions that'll be on the consent agenda. 2210-1, resolution of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners approving amendments to the 2022-23 CMCSS school budget. Resolution 2210-2, resolution to adopt the 2023 legislative agenda as presented by the Legislative Liaison Committee. Resolution 2210-3, resolution to charge off debts in the Montgomery County Clerk's Office. Resolution 2210-4, resolution to accept the Wade-Bourne Nature Center Foundation grant in the amount of $50,000 to build a native aquarium in the Wade-Bourne Nature Center in Rotary Park. Resolution 2210-5, resolution to authorize execution of the interlocal agreement between Montgomery County and the Montgomery County Highway Department for the performance the commission minutes dated September 12th, 2022, the county clerk's report and notary list, nominating committee nominations, county mayor nominations, and appointments. All of these things are on the consent agenda. All items in this portion of the agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the county commission and may be approved by one motion. However, a member of the county commission may request that an item be removed for separate consideration. Would anybody like anything removed or any discussion? Commissioner Woodruff.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2210-4, resolution to accept Wade-Bourne Nature Center Foundation grant in the amount of $50,000. I just don't see that being enough to build a native aquarium. I just don't see it. So is there a possibility that we can table that to?
I believe they've been working directly with Parks and Recreation on this topic.
Okay. I just don't see.
And I've talked with several other people about it as well.
So that, I just don't see that being enough to build what they're trying. So I'm asking if we can maybe hold that to next month, table it to next month.
Well, first thing we need to do is remove it from the consent agenda, and then we can make a motion from there.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and remove. We'll go ahead and remove 2210-4 from the consent agenda.
I think it should need to be increased.
Commissioner Gallant.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, resolution 2210-9, if we can move to separate that for consideration.
It's not on the consent agenda.
Oh, I apologize.
Commissioner Knight.
I just don't understand, and I appreciate Commissioner Walker's sentiment, because I think it should be more, but I don't see the relevance of turning down money if we're utilizing it for something.
Well, we removed it from the consent agenda already.
Okay.
So we can talk about that when it comes up. Is there a motion for the consent agenda? Commissioner Gannon. Second by Commissioner Ray. Any other discussion? Please tally your votes.
I'd say passes as amended.
Would anybody like to change their votes?
Just clarify. Consent agenda as with the one item removed.
This is the consent agenda as one item removed, which is 22-10-4. All right. Motion passes. Madam Clerk, please tally the votes.
19 yeses, 1 no, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. Consent agenda passes.
You can take that one up that was removed if she can get it up fast enough.
Madam Clerk, which order would you like me to go in for the next one? You may keep going and come back to that one, or do you want to handle that one first on 22-10-4?
Whichever is fine. They're ready for it.
Okay, we'll move on to 22-10-4. Resolution to accept Wadeborne Nature Center Foundation grant in the amount of $50,000 to build a native aquarium in the Wadeborne Nature Center in Rotary Park. Commissioner Bill, motion. Second. Commissioner Harper. Any discussion on this one? Go ahead, Commissioner Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor. This doesn't have anything to do with the cost of building the aquarium. This has to do with accepting a grant. This is free money with no match that we're going to receive in order to build it and then go through the plans and the process to do it. Parks and Recs have already gone through all this. I urge you to vote for this grant because it's money that can come in and help us without any strings attached per se.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I will say this, there will be another motion. So this is a motion for us accepting the funds, and there will be another motion that you'll see about appropriating the funds. And we can do that once we have more information, probably like that you're looking for. Commissioner Pritchard.
That's okay. Commissioner Gannon said what I was going to say. It's just money. We just need to accept it. I don't think we're in the business of turning money down.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Woodruff.
Clarity, I've got it.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion? Seeing no other discussion? What's that? Oh, Commissioner Padra.
By the looks of it, I recommend that we approve this. We're kind of trying to cross the river before we get to the bridge. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion on 22-10-4? Commissioners, please register your votes. Would anybody like to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please tally the votes.
20 yeses, 0 no's, 0 abstentions.
Resolution passes. Resolution 22-10-9, resolution of the County Commission of Montgomery County, Tennessee, approving the economic impact plan for the Turnbridge River District Development Area. Do I have a motion? Commissioner Harper, second. Commissioner Leverett. Any discussion on this one? Seeing none, please cast your votes. Would anybody like to change their votes? Madam Clerk, please tally the votes.
20 yeses, 0 no's, 0 abstentions.
Resolution 22-10-11, resolution to approve settlement of litigation. Do I have a motion? Commissioner Bill, second. Commissioner Knight. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, please tally your votes.
Register.
Register. Would anybody like to change their votes? Madam Clerk, please tally the votes.
18 yeses, 0 nos, 2 abstentions.
Moving on to unfinished business. Commissioner Padro, you said you would like to be called upon?
Yes. Mr. Mayor, fellow members of the commission, I'd like to offer a deep apology for the incident that happened the last meeting. That was a poor choice of words, and I regret it. And to the parents of the Girl Scouts that were present, I ask your deepest apologies. I was just trying to stress a point, and I went about it the wrong way. And once again, I ask for your apologies. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Moving on to reports filed. Building and Codes monthly reports, and there's been 2 reports added from last week, Accounts and Budgets monthly reports and the Trustees monthly reports. Announcements, the legislative agenda reception will be on Tuesday, October 25th at 5:30 p.m. at the William O. Beach Civic Hall. Commissioners, please confirm your attendance by calling the mayor's office. The Montgomery County Veterans Services will be hosting the annual Veterans Day Parade on November 5th, 2022. Opening ceremony will be at 9 a.m. on the historic courthouse steps, with the parade beginning at 10 a.m. This year's theme is a salute to veterans and law enforcement. And if nobody has anything else, we will call upon Chief John Smith for adjournment.
Stands adjourned. May God save this state and its honorable Board of County Commissioners.